Friends in Beauty, a place for beauty industry creatives looking to create impact, influence, and longevity. I'm your best friend in beauty, Akua Robinson, and today I wanted to do something that was a little bit different here on the Friends in Beauty channel. Of course, other people have done this before, but if you read the title, then you know that I'm doing a Q&A. And if you follow me on my personal page or Friends in Beauty, then you know that I asked to, for you all to submit some questions for me to answer. You could have asked like personal questions, business questions, artistry, like whatever. So several of my Friends in Beauty submitted questions for me to answer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and jump into it. I have my phone right here. I'm just gonna be reading the questions straight from my phone. So the first question that I have is from Embrace MUA. Hey girl, hey. So she asked the question, what is your least favorite thing about being an entrepreneur? And before, doing this video, I didn't, I looked at the questions, but I really didn't put any thought into it, like the answers that I wanted to give. But my least favorite thing about being an entrepreneur, off the top of my head, I would say, because I do like to have some sort of control over my life and situations, I would say sometimes like the uncertainty of things is my least favorite thing. Is one of those things that we cannot control, like no matter, if we, we could just do our best. So sometimes if you come out, so for example, for me, I told you I didn't think about these answers. So example for me, like being a coach or an educator, a lot of the times when you just have the intention of having a full room or a packed course or whatever like that, and you do everything that you know in your power that you can do, the advertising, the marketing, the branding and all that stuff, and sometimes you don't get the results that you want. Sometimes that could be a little, discouraging. So I would say like that's my least favorite thing about being an entrepreneur, is like not knowing like the exact result that I'm going to get each and every time. But everything is a learning experience, so I don't regret things not always working out the way I want them to work out, because everything always works out the way it's supposed to anyway. But yeah, I would say that's like my least favorite thing, because I like to have some control, you know what I'm saying? This one is from House of Uni. Hey girl, hey. She was on a recent episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. Check her out. Her name is Kumiko. Kumiko asks, when did you know you wanted to be a makeup artist? And then also, when did you first fall in love with makeup? So I would say that I knew I wanted to be a makeup artist. So funny story. I never even wore like makeup for real until I became a makeup artist. I was like 26 years old, had never worn like foundation or anything like that. But I want to say my interest became more and more apparent in makeup. It's so weird. I went to go see the movie Sparkle, like the new version of Sparkle. And I remember I went by myself, because I'm one of those people, I don't mind going to the movies by myself. And I remember the makeup just being so beautiful to me at that moment. I was like, oh my God, the makeup is so bomb. And I went and I Googled, who, did the makeup and everything like that. And I came across a makeup artist that's from this area, in DMV area. And I was like, wow, like that's really cool. Like she's from the DMV area, all that good stuff. And like, that's when I think my interest really like heightened with makeup, because I was already kind of like playing around with eyeshadow and stuff like that. But after I saw that movie Sparkle, I was like, I think this is something that I actually, want to try. So I guess that's when I knew I wanted to be a makeup artist. And then the rest is history. When did I first fall in love with makeup? To be honest, I don't know if I'm in love with makeup. I like makeup a lot, but I don't think that I'm in love with makeup. So I don't know how to answer that question. That might come as a shock to some people, but I'm not in love with makeup at all. I love doing makeup, but I'm not in love with like makeup. I don't know if that makes sense. Anywho, like I'm not a product junkie or anything like that. Like I don't have drawers and drawers like how some people have, but I like doing makeup. I love doing makeup, but I don't know if I'm like in love with makeup or in love with doing makeup. Hope that makes sense. All right, so next one is from my girl Tia at Honey in My Tea. Hey girl, hey. So she says, how do you keep that skin so flawless? So another shocker, that some people might be surprised to know is that I actually do not have a skincare routine at all. Like I kind of just like go with the flow, like whatever I can grab. Like it's definitely still like skincare products, but I'm not like tied to a particular brand or a particular routine. It's like literally genetics. I'm blessed to have great genetics. My mom and my father, they did their thing or whatever. And like I've never even had like every now and then I'll get like little bumps here and there, but I've never like had the challenge of like acne, like a whole bunch of acne and stuff like that. Knock on wood, like, because you know I'm still here. But I don't know, I try to drink a lot of water. I try to keep my diet pretty clean too, and being a good person will help in minding my business. But I don't have a skincare routine. Princess Lala, hey girl, hey, one of my old students from Bennett, she asked the question, what is my favorite look that I did and why? So one of my favorite looks that I have done, I would say recently, because I think I have a few different looks that I've done, and for some reason I always feel like I do my best looks when I have makeup classes. I don't know why, but one of my favorite looks that I've done recently, I had to record a color theory lesson for one of my friends in beauty, Sierra, hey girl, and I did this bomb color theory, like complimentary color look. I'll insert a photo somewhere on the screen, but man, I had never done a look like that before. It's a blue eye, orange lip, complimentary colors. And I just absolutely loved it, because a lot of times when I have clients, they always want me to stick to like the golden tones or the neutral tones. So I don't really get a lot of chances to play with color. So normally I have to like call over a model or call over somebody just to, you know, create some content with some color. But oh my God, this look came out like so fire. And anytime I do looks like that, I always be like, so like patting myself on the back, like girl, you still got it, you nice with the brushes or whatever. But yeah, that is one of my favorite looks to date. I have several, but that one is the one that sticks out in my head the most. Let me know what you think about it. Let's see, the next question is from Makeup by Money. Hey girl, hey Tamani girl. So she says, I need some new foundations. What are you using these days? So like I said, I'm not really a product junkie. So once I find something, I pretty much stick to it. So once I find something that I like and I know that works, I pretty much stick to it. So the foundations that I carry in my kit, I carry Black Opal, I carry Danessa Myricks Beauty, the full range. And I also carry Mented Cosmetics foundations right now in my kit, AJ Crimson as well. But the foundation that I use on myself personally, I use Mented Cosmetics. Right now I'm the shade M40. Normally I'm the shade D10, and M40 is a step down. So I'm looking forward to getting some sun since outside is open, because I'm so mad that my foundation shade went down. Got a little lighter from not being outside. But yeah, those are the foundations that I'm using. So that is what I'm using right now. I don't see myself doing or trying anything else new unless I just happen to come across something and I want to try. But once I find something I like, I pretty much stick to it. And the only way I would stop using those foundations if it is like the formula changed, or if something unfortunate happened and those companies went out of business. But those are my go-tos and they've been working for me forever. Let's see. Atara says personal, so she wants to know about cash and elegance. We'll get there, because I think she asked another question. Let me see. I am Trakeria. Hey girl, hey. She asked, what is the most fulfilling part of running your business? So I think the most fulfilling part of running my business, and this always is probably going to sound cliche, but literally, like for me, I get satisfaction when I hear like the positive feedback from people that maybe I haven't met, or maybe I have met, just telling me like that I'm doing a good job, or that some tips that I gave them or something that I taught them, they actually implemented and it worked for them. I just like seeing and hearing other people's success stories, and knowing that I had a part of it just is really fulfilling for me. So I think that's the most fulfilling part of what did she ask? The most fulfilling part of running my business. And then the people that I come in contact with as a makeup artist, you know, just making them feel beautiful, boosting their confidence. Some of them, this is their first time ever having makeup, so being in a position where like I'm the first one that gave that experience to them is like so cool and fulfilling. So I would say like that's, you know, the most fulfilling part of what I do. Let's see. Contour Courtney, hey girl. So Contour Courtney, she asked, how long have you been growing your locks? So I have been growing my locks for 13 years. I won't stand up right now because you know how it goes when you're filming. You know, you just cute at the top and the bottom. You know, I'm not gonna stand up right now. But my hair is pretty long. It's down to my butt, like right at the like maybe mid or top part of my butt. Yeah, my hair is pretty long, so normally I just keep it up in ponytail, but yeah. And FYI, this is all of my hair. I've been getting questions lately like, is that your hair? Is that your hair? Yes, it's mine. I've been growing it for 13 years. Let me see, at Painted for Public, and she knows that I love her Instagram name, Painted for Public. What are some ways MUAs can segue from being a mobile artist to a studio, spa, or salon setting? So, to be honest, I really don't know how to answer this question because I'm still mobile. I'm still mobile, but I would think like the best way to do it is just to do it. I have been looking at like locations and stuff lately because your girl is getting a little older, and I'm kind of getting tired of like carrying all my stuff because I carry my chair, my light, my kit. I carry everything to my clients. So I have started to look at spaces, but I would just say like do your research, create like some kind of budget for yourself, create a plan for how you're actually going to, you know, get these clients in to, you know, pay the rent every month. But yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too. So if you got somebody else got some tips on how to do that, let me know. But ain't nothing to it but to do it. So just start doing your research, and you can start off with something small. It doesn't have to be anything big, but if you do want a bigger space, maybe you can find some other creatives to like go in on it with you, so it could like lessen the burden of the finances right now until you figure everything out. Let me see. Hey, Shaharley Blake asked, what would be your dream client or dream job? Oh my gosh. My dream client or my dream job. That's a good one. So I would say like my dream client, I always say my dream client would be somebody like a SZA or Janae Aiko or something like that, because I love their aesthetic with their makeup. It's always like pretty clean, and I think that it's something that I'm really good at. Like a lot of people can't do like clean makeup without it looking like dramatic. That's one of my strong suits, so I think that I would be able to deliver their aesthetic so well. So it's between those two. Dream job, ooh, and Lauryn Hill. I love Lauryn Hill. That my hand would be shaking the whole time. Dream job, I don't know if I have a dream job. Definitely some kind of beauty campaign for a bomb black owned brand. I would love to do that. But yeah, I don't know, I gotta think about that one. At Grizzly Cuts, hey Mike, hey, asks, what inspires you? What inspires me? I think what inspires me is the vision that I have for myself and for my life. And it's something that's personal, you know. I have like this vision for how I want my life to be, and I can see it so clearly, and I'm not there yet. So what may seem to a lot of other people that I'm doing well and I'm successful, which I am, I have had success, I know that this is not anywhere close to what I envision for my life. So I think that that's what inspires me to keep showing up, to keep pushing. Also, what inspires me too is the fact that I have young nieces and nephews who surprisingly like watch my content. So it's a sense of like having to live up to their expectations as well, and not fumble the ball and not let them down. So I think the fact that my nieces and my nephews, the ones that are so young and impressionable, are looking at me in an admirable way. That inspires me to keep going, to keep pushing. And the people that reach out to me too, that just tell me how I impact them. I always have this thing of like, oh, we all go through times when we want to quit and everything, but for me, I always think about those people who are watching me and what that would mean to them if I quit. Then that would kind of give them the excuse of quitting themselves, and I don't want them to do that. So all of those things are the type of things that inspire me. All right, so I hope that wasn't too long-winded. Let me go over to my Instagram, to the post, and read the questions from there. Because those were the ones that was from my story. All right, so of course, in true Instagram history, it started acting up on my phone and would not load my comments, but I went and got my laptop, so we're gonna keep it pushing. So Atara at Atara Styles, hey girl, Atara asked, she said, I would love to see a video of you with Cash and Elegance. Oh my gosh. So if you don't know, Cash is my new kitten that I found about a month or so ago now. Elegance is my pit bull that she'll be 3 this year. So those are my fur babies. If you follow me on my personal page, then you have definitely seen them several times on my stories with their personalities, and it's a whole mess. But maybe one day I'll do a video. I have like a few videos here already on YouTube with a little, you know, cameos of them in the video, but I don't know what kind of video I would do with them. They are crazy, and I have like literally, I have scratches all over myself right now from this cat. Like, you clip her nails, they get back sharp again. I just put these things called soft paws on her to cover. They're like nail caps to cover her nails, but a whole bunch of them have fallen off already, and I need to put them back on because I'm tired of getting scratched up. But maybe one day I'll figure out a little something to do with Cash and Elegance. They love each other, surprisingly. I'm so happy they get along. But yeah, Cash and Elegance is my kitten and my pit bull. Let me see. At Kaleidoscope, hey. So Kaleidoscope asked, are you excited about becoming a photographer? So yes. So if a lot of you don't know, I have been practicing photography, and I always tell people that I'm surprised that I didn't do photography first and then become a makeup artist, because as far back as I can remember, I had this epiphany maybe like a month or so ago. As far back as I can remember, maybe to like the age of 14 or a little bit earlier, I've always had a camera of some sort, and I've always enjoyed taking pictures. I was always that person, you know, back in the day before everything was all technical and stuff, before camera phones and all that. Can you bring your camera to the party, like take some pictures? Like, I've always been that person that just loved taking pictures. So, and I took photography in high school on like film and everything, learned how to develop film. I think I dabbled with something in college as well. And then over the pandemic, I took a photography course with one of my favorite photographers here in the DMV area. And then also this same photographer, Kaleidoscope, David Matthews, showed me some, you know, tips and tricks for shooting in studio. So yeah, I have my lighting and everything. I've been practicing. So maybe sometime soon, when, you know, I get the confidence to like pull off an actual shoot, I will come back and I will share that experience with you. Maybe I'll vlog like my first shoot or something like that, and I'll share that experience with you. But yes, I am very excited about becoming a photographer, because, you know, sometimes you just want to shoot your own content. You don't want to have to rely on photographers to, you know, be creative and everything like that. So yes, look out for it. Let me see. Oh, I love this question. And so this is from @ACK629 on Instagram. They asked the question, when you started out, was it more important to get paid or to master your craft? Oh my gosh, I love this question. And the answer for me is, it was more important for me to master my craft than to get paid. And that was so funny. I was actually trying to think about who was like my first paid client. I can't even think about it. It's been so long. But it was definitely more important to me to master my craft. I took several classes because I did go to Bennett Career Institute for like a 6-week makeup artistry program. But that was just the basics. So from there I went to like several different like hands-on makeup classes, demo makeup classes, and just practicing myself on different skin tones, different models. I pride myself on being able to do makeup on all the skin tones from the fairest to the deepest, because I practiced. It was very important for me to master my craft because I didn't want to be like a one-trick pony or makeup artist who only knew how to do makeup on people that look like her. So it was definitely more important for me to master my craft, because I feel like once you master your craft, you'll feel more confident with, you know, your rate and everything. You'll feel more confident in just being an artist once you know for sure, like, you know what you're doing, you got this. So I definitely think that you should master your craft, and then, you know, the money will come. The money will definitely come. When people see the skills that you have, they're gonna be reaching out to you. So master your craft and the money will come. Next question is from @FabFacesMUA. Hey girl. So she said, why you so dope and what Cash be up to these days? So like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you know Cash has been all over my freaking story. I'm obsessed. But why am I so dope? I don't know. Am I dope? Am I dope? I guess I don't know. It's just the way I am. I'm just being myself. What Cash be up to these days? Cash is literally outside of this door, like laying down waiting for me to come out. She's very active. She did have her first doctor's appointment a couple of weeks ago. So like I said, I found her like out back in my apartment complex, and I wasn't sure like how old she was or anything like that. So I got confirmation that at that time a couple of weeks ago, she's like 10.5 weeks old. So that means that sometime next week she'll be like 3 months, which is crazy. I have a whole 2-month-old kitten. What else? She's very playful. She likes to eat. She likes to sleep. She gets like these bursts of energy and then she goes to sleep. She's been scratching me up, like I mentioned, but not on purpose. It's just because she's like, you know, she's playful. But yeah, she had roundworms. I forgot to mention that. And her eye is still messed up. They gave me some drops for that. So she has to do like some follow-up appointments to see about her eyes, see about the roundworms. Like, I'm trying to nurse this thing back to health, okay? But she's looking good. She's looking healthy and everything. I wonder if I should show you her. I'm gonna go get her. All right, so here she is. Say hi, Put. I call her Pudding. This is Mommy Put. Then Mommy Pudding. She like, girl, why did you come and get me? I was chilling. But yeah, she's getting big. Like every time I look at her, I'm like, girl, why you getting so big? This is Mommy's Put. I just love her so much. She's so feisty too. She being calm right now, but she's so feisty. It's Mommy's feisty little kitten. But yes, this is Cash, and I'm gonna go put her back in her space. Alright, so the next question is from @MurphyTerrence. Hey, he's an amazing chef. I'm still thinking about those shrimp tacos that you made at Tiffany's house. I want some more. Anyways, MurphyTerrence asks, how has DC fashion culture influenced you in a positive or negative expressions? Also, DC hairstylists versus Baltimore or makeup artists, who you riding with? So let's talk about the first one. How has DC fashion culture influenced you, positive or negative expressions? I don't know. That's an interesting question. DC fashion culture. I don't know. Does DC have a fashion culture? I have no idea. Like, even though I'm from DC, I don't think that I'm like of DC, if that makes sense. Like, I grew up in DC, but I'm not really hip to a lot of certain things that go on in DC. When it, like, I don't know how to explain it. So I have no idea how to answer that question, unfortunately. DC hairstylist, I think he might have meant makeup artist. DC makeup artist versus Baltimore, who you riding with? Of course I'm riding with both of them, because there are some dope makeup artists in DC and Baltimore. I'll get beat up by my Baltimore crew if I try to go with DC, and then vice versa. It's some amazing makeup artists in both areas and hairstylists in both areas. So I gotta ride with both. I'm the best friend in beauty, so I can't be picking sides. I'm riding with both of them. Let's see. So next question is from @Who Did Your Nails? Hey girl, hey, that's my girl Zaire. So it's so crazy. Quick story. Me and Zaire actually met like long before any of this beauty industry stuff was like we were even thinking about the beauty industry. So Zaire is a nail tech. I'm a makeup artist, and we both used to work together back in the day when Wells Fargo was Wachovia Bank. We were both tellers. We had our training together, and we were just like stuck like glue ever since. So we definitely need to collab, coming soon. But she asked, if you haven't already, I think people who are just coming into the industry would like to know where and how you got your start, maybe how you built the courage to go for it, or maybe what inspired you to get into this field. People love product info as well. I'm into nails, but if I was a makeup girl just starting, these would be my questions, to name a few. So proud of you, boo. Thank you so much. And it's so crazy, like Zaire was the one that was into makeup back in the day. So I remember us like about to go to the club and stuff. She had like the little L'Oreal eyeshadow palettes. I'll be in there like, girl, can you put something on my eyes too? And look where we are now, girl. But of course I have shared, let me see. Of course I have shared how I got my start. I have a full episode on episode 1 of the Friends in Beauty podcast called The Hero's Journey. I have a full episode on how I got into makeup, but long story short, I graduated in the thick of the recession, couldn't find a job in my field, which is IT. Went through several years of just trying all types of different jobs, and it was a mess. And then decided to give makeup a try, and the rest is history. That's the the short part of it. How I built the courage to go for it. I'm one of those people that just wants to do it. Like I do spend a lot of time in my head sometimes, but eventually I get to the point where I just have to do it and then see what happens, and then figure it out from there. So the courage to do it, I just do it because I get tired of waiting. I'm trying to get to the action, to the results. What inspired me to get into the field, not having a job, keep getting laid off, getting jobs, laid off, getting jobs when that whole recession time was going on. Getting tired of having my livelihood in somebody else's hands and just wanting to work for myself. I hate working for people in the traditional sense. Yes, I just had to make it happen. Yeah. Product info, y'all be good. Y'all don't need all that. But yeah, I would say that's it. Let me see. This is the last one. So at Coco Slurpee asks, what are your opinions on hyaluronic acid and hydration face gels? What about vitamin C serums? So girl, like I mentioned before, I'm not really into skincare and stuff like that. I would have to get like some of my esthetician friends on and to talk about that. But I do know hyaluronic acid is really good as a lot of hydration to the skin. Vitamin C serums are good as well. But that's about all I can really say, because like I don't really use those things like personally on myself. I do use hyaluronic acid on my clients from time to time, but I wish I could be more helpful with the skincare stuff. But I'm trying to get there. One day I'm gonna get my life together, start being a real adult, and get my skincare game together. But yeah, that is it for the Q&A. Oh my gosh, if you enjoyed this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. If you want me to do another Q&A, then leave some questions down below in the comments, and I would do like a part 2 to this. I love the questions that you all asked. They were absolutely amazing. But yeah, make sure that you are in the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you are a friend in beauty, whether you're a makeup artist, photographer, hairstylist, nail tech, model, all the things, make sure you click the link down below in the description to join the Friends of Beauty Facebook community. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Akua Robinson, and also follow Friends in Beauty as well, so you can stay updated, so you can see my adorable fur babies in my stories. And yeah, also every Wednesday I release new episodes of the Friends of Beauty podcast, so make sure you tune into that. I do interview episodes, and I also do solo episodes from time to time, dropping all the gems to longevity and success in the beauty industry. And also join the mailing list tribe. I always forget to mention this, but Friends in Beauty does have a mailing list that I send out different business resources and tips throughout the week. So if that's something that you're interested in as well, the link for that will be down in the description. But this was so much fun. I really enjoyed doing this Q&A, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.